And what's a good topic title, like how professional services firms can use video in marketing, or what do you think?
Um, how your firm can how firms can adopt video strategically.
Okay, good.
I don't know. The strategic adoption of video.
I like it. How firms can adopt video strategically.
Yeah,
And with Robert Weiss, is that how, am I saying it correctly?
correct.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. How firms can adopt video strategically with Robert Weiss. And then I'll mention I saw you at a Legal Marketing Association conference. Then it kind of drops, oh, okay, he's plugged in. So, okay, good. I'm going to turn my phone off. I'll make sure it's on Do Not Disturb.
Okay.
Okay.
And was the file okay?
I don't know. I don't know how to access it. I mean,
Oh,
all
okay.
they do, my marketing person does that. I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't
Let's
know.
let's just say it'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
It'll be great.
Let me see if can I do a preview? Hold on a second. Preview. I'm going to do a preview watch. Okay. It allows me to do a preview on the right. It looks clear. The video looks clear.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what's happening then. It's just uploading, so it's all good. All right.
Okay, good.
Just it's always good to confirm.
Yep, good. Super. Okay, so we are recording. We've got our topic title, How Firms Can Adopt Video Strategically with Robert Weiss.
Or no, think about it. Like use video to build their authority and
What
convert
about,
clients.
how about this?
I like that actually better. Build
Winning,
authority and convert clients.
what about winning clients? Winning clients with video.
That's the end result. Let's do the build authority and win clients.
Got
Because
it.
that's like they need to build authority and then win the clients.
Yeah.
And I like the building authority aspect because they care about that.
I like it.
Obviously, they care about winning clients too, but I think everybody says win clients.
Right.
It's like, what do you do? Oh, we help increase sales. Like, okay, just tell me one product out there that doesn't. Like
I like it. Okay, good. And it's just a conversation. And there's a series, there's kind of like a theme that I follow with most of my interviews. And I think we're good. I'm good. Are you good?
I'm good.
Super. Build authority and win clients with video with Robert Weiss. Okay. All right. Z, here we go. We're recording in 3, 2, 1. Hey, this is Scott Love with the Rainmaking Podcast. Our guest today is Robert Weiss, and we're talking about building authority and winning clients with video. Robert, thank you for joining me on the show.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
Me
Hello,
too.
everybody that's listening.
And I'm glad we got to meet at the Legal Marketing Association Northeast Chapter Conference in New York City this past
Yes.
fall.
Yep.
And it was
Yeah, it
nice
was
to see
great.
that. Yeah, it was. It was nice to see that someone like you, a real professional, is plugged into that community. And obviously, your expertise is why. And I want to kind of dig into that
Thank you.
and pull out ideas that can really help our listeners. And so let me ask you this question, the why of video.
Yeah.
Why do you think that helps build authority?
Oh my gosh. Let's think about the ways that firms, attorneys build authority today.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They get in front of people at conferences, they blog, they do webinars, they meet people, they go networking. Okay. They're people to people interactions, and they inform and educate, and they act like who they are as a professional. They have no scripts. They answer questions. They provide information in a human way. That's exactly what video does extremely well and better than any other digital marketing mechanism out there.
Yeah, yeah.
It and thus it builds the know, like, and trust factor. Even when somebody gets a referral, that referral is still going to vet you out, them out. So it helps the person that is the ultimate buyer say, yeah, I trust this person. Or at least I trust this person enough to make a phone call or send an email to them to start the process.
I agree with you 100%. I've seen that in my own life. I just don't see it as much in the legal community. And I know you work with other types of professional services
Yeah.
organizations too. But why do you think it, and maybe you might see it more prevalently than I do, but do you think this is something that has really caught on to professional services, especially law firms?
It has not. It has not. The overall space with video on a scale of 1 to 10 of companies that are doing it strategically, meaning they have a thoughtful and deliberate approach with a cadence, is a 2, which represents who's ever listening the opportunity to understand video. It will take you about 2 years to get video down, and we'll talk about that later as to why.
Mhm.
But yeah, there's not a lot of companies out there that really understand that video does plug into many different business objectives, and one video is not a video marketing strategy.
Yeah, that's right. I liked what you mentioned, and I want to highlight this thoughtful and deliberate approach with a cadence.
Thoughtful, yes, yep.
What does
Thoughtful,
that mean?
deliberate
Kind of
cadence.
break that down for me, please.
Well, I'll just jump back. That means, one video is not a video marketing strategy. Okay, so you buy into that, check. Where do you get started? Right? You have, you've got multiple practice areas, multiple offices, or just one, but many practice areas, many lawyers. You have your website, email marketing, PR, communications, social media, events, webinars. You got all this stuff to do, recruiting. There's so many things that you need to do, SEO. Those are all business objectives. So, where do you get started? Right?
Yeah.
So, we have a saying, when you first start thinking about video, the first thing to do is to forget about video. Right? If you are focused on your healthcare practice and you have a big event coming, don't do videos for your firm overview or for your bankruptcy practice. Right? Or maybe you've gotten some laterals, or if there's a practice area that you want to develop, or SEO is important to you, you are going to create content for that specific initiative. So video should flow, should push, because what video does is up KPIs of every single metric out there, from awareness to conversion to sales productivity, social media, email click-through rates, SEO dwell time. So when you have video that complements what you have planned from a business perspective, you can create that. So that's the planned, and the thoughtful, and then the cadence. Well, the thoughtful is actually how you're going to use that video in the different areas. I hear a lot, well, we'll just create snippets and we'll put it in social media. Like, no, like, be deliberate about what you create in the production so you have that correct content. Many times you can get the content, but sometimes you can't. So let's be thoughtful about that, deliberate. And then the cadence is, okay, great. We just did the healthcare practice. Oh, but now we have recruiting is important because we're going to be in front of, colleges in the next, 3 months. Well, let's do recruiting videos. And then we're going to be in the bankruptcy area, and let's do bankruptcy videos. So that's the cadence that you have of doing video and aligning it with your business plans and going through that cycle of creating video, because the healthcare practice partners are different than the bankruptcy practice partners. They both need to learn how to be in front of the camera,
Hmm.
and that takes time. So that's what I'm saying is it takes you about 2 years to go through that planning, shooting, marketing, planning, shooting, marketing, and understand how video gets distributed and how people use it and how to do it right.
Yeah.
Many times you're just not going to do stuff right the first time, and it's just That's just the reality.
So let's say there's a firm listening to this and they're thinking, we've been wanting to do this. We know it works. We're just so busy. We've got our CMO. We're going to work with you. They're going to hire you. And they're going to say, Robert, help us. Help us with our bankruptcy practice first. And then we want to we want to highlight laterals. And by the way, I've seen some firms that have amazing YouTube channels with just video testimonials from laterals. And so I know it works. And I've actually sent those to people I've tried to recruit because it's a good story and they see these human beings talking about that. And there's other things I can kind of input into that. But where do you think they should start first? Let's say there's one project. Should they come up with storyboards? Should they have a plan for each video? Where do you think they should really get their arms around that?
So they have a strategy, bankruptcy, for example, right?
Mhm.
I would say storyboards, no. That's old
Mhm.
school storyboards. If you're going to do a big movie, motion graphics, animation, sure. Or if you're going to go and shoot and there's 100 people that need to know what it looks like, you do storyboards. That's a lot of budget to do storyboards.
Yeah.
Most law firms don't have that. What I would do if they came to us, I would say, okay, you're going into bankruptcy. What's your content plan over the next 3 months? Can you tell me the top 5 questions that your attorneys got asked over the last 3 months?
Oh, wow.
Do you have a webinar that you've done? Send me the PowerPoint deck. You've got the content. The content's there. So that becomes your storyboard. And they write down the answers to their questions. They write down their content plan, and then they put a couple bullet points below each one, kind of like an outline, an index kind of format on a Microsoft Word document. Great, that's your plan. Now that particular project is more for like brand, like partner authority, subject matter expertise, content marketing.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to do like a practice area overview, or if they wanted to recruit for that practice area, it would be a similar process,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why should somebody work here? Oh, because we've got so many offices. We have like good movement. We have snacks. Like you have all these different bullet points as to why. Okay, so then that becomes your messaging.
Yeah.
But again, we don't need a script. We don't need to storyboard that. That's the stuff that the professionals do, us, that kind of has nothing to do with the cameras and equipment.
Right.
The cameras and equipment, how we execute that. But video is a big professional service of getting people aligned with the content, planning for it, coaching them on camera, and of course, the editing process.
Now you mentioned give me a PowerPoint of a recent webinar. What would you do with that in a video context?
Well, if somebody's doing webinars already, they already have checked the box that thought leadership is important. Okay. But most of the time, you'll see a webinar where you have the big screen and then like the little partner up at the top.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right.
Yep.
It's like lots of words, lots of words, lots of words. I can take that webinar and break it up into 5 videos, 10 videos. But I'm gonna make it like me, like I am full screen right now. And yeah, we might take some of the assets from that webinar and then pop them on screen. Maybe like full screen like that with text, right? Or maybe a sidebar like that with text at times. So I'm using all of the information, the assets, the creative, the insights from that webinar, but I'm putting the partner full screen so people can get to see the partner and their mannerisms and how they talk, but still get the information. And what I'm also doing is I'm taking that 45-minute webinar and breaking it up into a 2-minute here, 3-minute here, 1 minute here, 4-minute here. So now the marketing team has many doorways versus just one.
That's
And
fantastic.
there might be a salient point at 27 minutes in that webinar that will never get watched, never get heard. Because people are not going to watch that. Very few anyway.
And they take that excerpt out and they push it out through social media, LinkedIn.
Well, it's not an excerpt, all right? So again, plan, thoughtful, and deliberate. We're taking that PowerPoint and then we're putting an outline together so we know what, we'll just say five videos are. Okay, so we'll know which 5 videos. We'll know some of the talking points of each of those videos and the reasons why those 5 are being made. All right. And yeah, so it's thoughtful and deliberate. Right. And then we have something called a video first marketing strategy, which I'll kind of show right here, which is basically taking that video and using that across blog posts, websites, email nurturing campaigns. Maybe there's a follow-up email. Those videos are sitting somewhere and somebody gets a referral and say, hey, Scott, I heard that you do bankruptcy law and I have a blah, blah, blah problem. And you're like, oh, well, I have a series of videos for you to look at as well, to get to know us, understand how we think. Let me send that to you and let's talk next Thursday. So you want to use those videos across all the different channels. And when you have 5 versus 1, you have more pieces of content to do that. That goes into the first thing that we talked about, which is the know, like, and trust factor and being human and getting people to see you and get to know you and like you.
These are great ideas. Let's say somebody listening to this is in a very large firm and the marketing team just doesn't believe in this. Yeah, we tried that once and it didn't work out. Do you think they can do something on their own, similar to what you talk about?
Maybe. I don't know that. I would say probably the likelihood would be lower of it being quality and professionals, because part of video is actually telling partners what to do. And most marketing teams at law firms, with maybe the exception of the CMO or some high level director, just don't have the cojones to tell partners what to do.
Yeah, I get that.
And that's part of what I do. My job is to make sure that partner looks and sounds great. And I have had to say some hard things to say to people, right? But they're thankful for it because they're not going to like that video when it get done. And if they don't like that video, then I haven't done my job, right? So I need to be able to tell people sometimes hard stuff. And I don't think a marketing person can do that. And the other thing is that they just, it comes down to experience, and we are all experienced at what we do. There's things that I'm going to pick up that they won't unless they've done, hundreds of videos. I've done 1,700 videos.
Wow.
So I've worked with a lot of people.
That's amazing. That's amazing,
And
Robert.
let me also say that if that law firm has done video and it hasn't worked before, then do it again until they get it right.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes you do something once and you don't get it right. Think about the first website you had, or you had an email marketing campaign that was just crap, right? You're still going to have a website. You're still going to do email marketing. You're still going to do that. So,
what do you think the people that you've worked with, where you work with them and it works and they get the results, they're building their authority, they're converting clients. What are the common characteristics of those firms?
Number one, they've been open to our ideas. A lot of people come to us with, oh, I want a video and I see this does this. I'm like, okay, great. Can you tell me about the business objective? And we slightly change the deliverables or the approach to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a common thread to a lot of our successes over the years, both with law firms and without. And then they have a marketing plan. They actually, have thought about, and there's very few that have this, but I could name probably more than five. And again, I'm going to law firms and over law firms that either they heeded some of our advice about a video first marketing strategy, because we always talk about that's part of our services, right? So
Mhm.
we always want to try to have that service included. um, and we're happy to consult with somebody on a short term to help them at least do that themselves, because it's not rocket science. It's just you need to know it. So I think those are the two things that are germane to having a successful program. And I guess the third
Mhm.
is just doing video again, not having it be a one-off. Understand that it does take a little bit of time for those videos to resonate in most cases. But when you build video over video over video, it's just going to compound.
That's fantastic. You've probably worked with firms where they hired you and they didn't get the results for whatever reason, or they weren't committed to it for whatever reason. What do you think
Mhm.
those pitfalls are that really keep this project from being successful?
I think it comes down to the marketing strategy. I really do. Um, and not every video is going to be successful, even though you want it to be, because it maybe just doesn't land with the audience, right? Maybe it doesn't. So I think that's the biggest thing. If they're working with us, the assumption is that they've spent enough to make a quality production. That doesn't mean underspend or overspend. That means the right value for what they need. And I think it comes down to the execution in terms of getting it out there.
Mm.
Because I've had clients come to me like, "Oh, we want a video to help us build our awareness of our company, product, whatever it might be." I'm like, "Well, video is not going to do that." Like, what? I'm like, you need to use that video. You need to spend money to get that video out there for people to see it, for it to do what you want to do it to do. You know, so that's the key thing. That's the answer to the question right there.
This is great, Robert. You've shared some insights for us that I think a lot of people know makes sense. They just haven't done it before. Is
Yeah.
there an inflection point in the development of an organization to where now they say this is what we need? Are there common themes that you've seen with those organizations, especially law firms, where now we need to do this?
No. Mm-mm. I think video is a personality trait. The people who understand that video is important, either they've done it before without a lot of success, or they understand it's important. They want some help. Literally, I speak to law firms, or I try to speak to law firms all the time, and there's some out there doing it well. Some okay. Most of them are ignoring video. It's crazy. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Um, but it's that right now it's the personality. I think in 5 years they're all going to do it, because now they've seen everybody else do it, right? Think websites, email marketing, SEO. These are digital marketing technologies that took about 10 years to germinate and to seed before every firm was like, yeah, I need to do that now.
Right.
Or I got a website in 2008, but now 2015 is like, and I need a good one. Right? And that's the trajectory of video. So right now, I know you're going to ask this probably later. One of the actions items is get started today, because in 5 years you're going to be doing it anyway, because everybody else is, and it'll take 2 years to really get your mojo down. Get started today. You can invest a little, you can invest a medium, you can invest a lot. It's up to you, but the investment is independent of getting started,
Mm.
because you can make very, very different levels of investment to get started.
Do you think that this might be perceived as something risky? law firms in particular, they're not innovative. They don't even like to be innovative. They just want to keep their head down, grind it out, and not change. Do you think that could be a reason why? Do they just see it as risky? Do they think that video might be showing that we're trying too hard, or maybe it's lowbrow or something like that? Do you think those might be reasons why a lot of the firms haven't done it?
Yep, 1,000%. 1,000%. And we actually have somebody's listening to this. They might even get this email because we just queued off a sequence, email marketing sequence today to lawyers to this ilk, and I can't remember it's the second or third. It's the first one. And it's a blooper reel. So we're saying, hey, check out this blooper reel of 13 attorneys having fun on camera. And we're saying, that we understand that most people think it's risky or it's a high risk, but we have a remote solution to make it low risk and still high quality for you.
Yeah.
And this blooper reel is all shot remotely. It's like 13 attorneys at maybe 10 different locations, and it's all like high quality content, but all done remotely, which means you don't need an on location crew, which lowers the investment, still gives high quality content, and lowers the risk. So, absolutely, I think they think it's risky, but also because I think they don't understand what they could do with it. And they are used to spending $30, $50, $80,000 on one video. And that's just old school thinking.
Yeah. You've really given us some fantastic ideas today, Robert. We've had to bring our conversation to a conclusion, and I always like to summarize things in 3 action steps. You mentioned one of those earlier, but if you could kind of encapsulate this into 3 action steps people can take to really get started with this, what would those be?
So I said before, get started today. Number 2, focus on your business objectives to decide where, and then focus on the things that you're hearing. What are questions that your clients are asking? What's going on in the news that people care about? What are you saying to people at your next conference as terms of content? And then third, make sure you have an action plan. Whatever that is now, it doesn't need to be the best, but have an action plan that you can at least execute. And then when you do it a second time, you can build on that action plan.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 things.
That's so good. That's so good. I know you've talked a little bit about what you do, but just to give us a full overview, Robert, what does your company do? What would you like our listeners to know about you and your offerings?
So company is MultiVision Digital. You go to multivisiondigital.com, and we're all about video, 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 video. We do video.
That's great. Good. Well, we're going to put all of your links in the show notes. And thank you for being here. This is insightful. Like I said, I've heard a lot of people talk about business development, thought leadership. This is the first one we've done really with video, with this type of perspective. So thanks for being here, and I look forward to staying connected with you.
For the conversation, and